Sanbonan, guys. Very, very tired. Very katele. I was going through comments of the video I just did yesterday, talking about letting go of the past, and I read one of the comments by My Roots Official, and what they had asked me is if I can do a video around solving conflict in siblings. That's actually something close to my heart. I'm very, very close to my siblings. I've got an older brother, Penwell, God Penwell, the black pen. And then I've got a beautiful baby sister. I say baby sister, but she's 25. Penrose, yeah, this one. And we are very close. We're a very close family. But talking about solving sibling conflicts, I think there's a bigger picture here, or a bigger problem, and it's around just conflict resolution as a whole. I think generally, Tina, as a generation, we struggle with conflict resolution. We tend to want to sweep a lot of the bigger problems that we have under the rugs, or under the rug. I think that's how you say it. You see it at work, where people have a problem with their line manager and they don't want to address it, or they have a problem with a colleague, and they'd rather go into the canteen and gossip and skinner rather than actually just addressing and say, hey, Benson, look, I didn't appreciate how you addressed me at meeting. I didn't appreciate that email that you sent. You look at it in relationships where a lot of it ends up becoming passive aggressive, in relationships when there's a hot topic. People say, okay, all right, or people bayaduba. Ukduba is to not throw a tantrum, but Ukduba, I don't know what the word is, doob. So Ukduba is just, it's a form of passive aggressive. It's a form of, okay, it's whatever, bruh, you get your way, but you're not really addressing the issue at hand. And I think as a generation, we struggle a lot with conflict resolution. We struggle a lot with being vulnerable and being able to articulate our emotions and how we feel about certain points. It's a lot of work, and it's putting yourself out there, because again, just because you're addressing something doesn't mean that you're correct. I might have a problem with a line manager, I have a problem with a colleague. Me approaching them, they might respond and say, well, Princeton, you were wrong here, and I stand firm on that, and it might be embarrassing, where other people also then get to say, yes, Princeton, you do this often, and now you're trying to pin it on someone else. So you also open yourself up in relationships where maybe you have been lying a lot in your relationship, and you're at a point where your partner now lies, and you have to address that topic, and you have to say, baby, I don't appreciate it. And then they might bring up and say, hey, but now you are lying. So there's also all those things where we kind of run away, and we don't want to make shit awkward. And I see it in siblings as well. I think for the most part, Tina, when we see siblings, we see a friend, choma. Instead of trying to understand what role does your sibling play in your life, it is not just limited to friendship. Your sibling should be a person that, one, is a mentor to you, and a mentee at the same time, because they will always know things that you don't know, but at the same time, you will also know things that they don't know. So the trick, what we do with my family, is that we find areas that we have in common. For example, my brother and my sister, what they do, that they watch a lot of movies. That's something. So you sit in the family group and they're busy talking about movie trailers, and it's annoying because you're like, why can't you guys just DM each other this crap? But it's something where I can see they've got this relationship. They share music, they share whatever new music, they share TikTok videos, they share movie things, and I can see they have a common point of interest, which is great, and it forms a very strong relationship. I've also got certain points of interest with my brother, such as rugby, where we get to discuss those things as well. And I have a point of interest with my sister. I enjoy an occasional glass of adult beverages, so every now and again, my sister and I will go out and we'll share a drink together. So those are little common pockets that we will have as siblings, and then we'll obviously then have that overarching we are siblings relationship. The elephant in the room, if I can call it that, is this assumption that we don't argue. My family, my siblings, we argue more than most. we've realized that if we leave the small things grow into big things. My favorite poem is one called "For Want of a Nail." You can Google "For Want of a Nail." The shoe was lost. For want of the shoe, the horse was lost. For want of the horse, the rider was lost. For want of the rider, the message was lost. For want of a message, the battle was lost, and the kingdom fell. And it just merely speaks to sweating the small stuff. And in all relationships, including sibling relationships, things start with a small little dripping tap, and the little drips then become a puddle, and the puddle becomes something bigger. And if you don't address it, then if your sibling says something that doesn't sit well with you, it's something small, they're making fun of your eyebrows, and it's something that's sensitive to you, just send a little WhatsApp and you say, look, I love you so much. I know you are saying this as a joke. I appreciate the joke. However, please note that I am sensitive about my eyebrows. I love you so much. Blah, 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 blah. And it's something small, but it's something where you are vulnerable and you opened yourself up, and if they, as siblings do, how manje wenu nenkinga with your eyebrows, and you respond, you say, look, I love you, but it's something that's close to me. And as my brother, I'd appreciate that you don't tease me about my eyebrows, because it is something personal and it is something I'm working on. Please, most normal, logical people, once you've sent them those 2 DMs being vulnerable and open, they'll actually take heed and they'll try and manage that. Again, Tina, with my family, sometimes messages are lost. So that's when then I will rope in my other sibling and saying, hey, am I just wrong? Because every time I address my sister about my eyebrows, she doesn't adhere to that. Can you please just assist me in, we do that. My family is very weird because we have a lot of family meetings, and it's just the 4 of us. So we have a lot of family meetings where we put like an agenda together as well. We are the furthest family from being perfect, but the constant communication, even though we're not good at it, but the constant communication really does assist in a lot of conflict resolution, a lot of hard conversations, a lot of things that are said which you might not like to hear, but you need to hear. And understanding whenever it comes from family, it's coming from a place of love. Sometimes they might struggle in finding the right words, so their words might be a bit painful, to the ear, but it is coming from a place of love because I know they love me, and if it's coming from my mom and my sister and my brother at the same time, then it's something I need to sit down and process. I'm not saying I'll always agree with them, but it's something I need to process because, again, they can see my blind spots. They love me unconditionally. It's unlike Usbongile and Mumandisa, who, if I'm out of the way, they'll dump me and they'll be with another guy tomorrow. My mom only has me, so she can't be like, oh, my brother has one brother. He has one brother. So he's not gonna, So again, maybe Ulungiswa is in a bit of a privilege where she can pick 2. But like, again, they love me unconditionally. So when they do bring up certain things, I do take them seriously. I do process what they're saying. So when it comes to conflict with your siblings, understand, Uguti, they do love you unconditionally, and sometimes it's in a form of tough love, and sometimes it's a bitter pill to swallow. My first step would be to build a relationship with your sibling. If you guys have had a distant relationship, and you haven't spoken in months, find points of commonality, if that's the right word. If your siblings are into cars, maybe start sharing some car memes with them. Maybe start sharing some interesting points about cars, just to find something that you guys can then have a conversation with. So it's not too forced. Find something that you like and they like. There'll always be something that you like and they like, so you just might have to initially dig a little bit deeper to find what that is. And once you found it, then start building that relationship. And it might be frustrating because you might start the first 5 conversations and you'll be like, oh, well, I'm always just starting this and they never. But some people take time, some people are that diesel engine where you might need to take 3 months, 6 months of you just constantly. If this is what you are seeking, 3 months, 6 months. I know with my family, with certain things, it took us years for us to actually form a relationship. And then once that relationship was formed, then a level of trust, started coming through. And once that trust came through, then we could start being more and more open. And we could take criticism a lot better. We could take a lot of the words that was said, even though it might have been harsh or painful to hear, we could have taken we could take them in easier, you know. But again, that would just be my 2 cents around conflict resolution as a whole. Don't wait for things to blow up. When it's the smallest, you know, when it's like washing dishes, if there's one cup in the sink, wash it right there, you know, because if you let it, then there's 5 cups and there's 10 cups, and all of a sudden there's dishes on the counter, and then there's dishes on the floor, and by the time you can't even walk into your kitchen, there's so many dishes, you get overwhelmed, you don't know where to start, you know. So again, it's always easier if I nip something in the bud, something that I hear that I don't appreciate, something that was quite painful, if I can nip it in the bud. So that would be my first thing. So professionally, relationship wise, siblings, just for this conversation, small problems, hit them right there. Don't sweep them under the rug. Deal with them right there. Try your best to pick the right words. I know sometimes we get emotive and we get emotional and we just brr, but try your best to find the right words, and to express how you feel to your colleagues, to your mom, to your granny, to your girlfriend, to your boyfriend, whatever the case may be. And then in terms of just formulating a strong relationship with your sibling, please find areas in which you guys have a lot of commonality in. You know, there is sometimes you just have to work harder, find them, and then start building constantly. You know, it's an everyday affair. I speak to my family every day. We speak all the time. There's a group where it's just me, my brother, and my sister, and then there's a group where it's a family where we add my mom, and then we've got like 1,000 of groups, you know. So we speak to each other all the time, constantly touching base. How are you feeling? How are you doing? I need help with this. Please, can you guide me here? I'm emotional today. I'm going through things. Feeling a bit tired. La 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 la. So it's always easier for us to ask for assistance. It's always easier for us to address hard conversations because we put in the time and the effort, you know. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think. How do you guys resolve conflict, especially in family, because family can be tricky, amongst siblings. That can be sensitive, and also in relationship, because I know a lot of guys, people in general, struggle with conflict resolution in the relationship setting. So let me know, comment, like, share this, and get in hand. Have yourselves a fantastic day.